Raise your hand if you've ever thought, if I just earned a little more money, I'd finally be fine. Yeah, same. But here's the truth. Earning more isn't the problem. Thinking differently is.
A janitor swept floors for 17 years. He lived in a small 2-bedroom house. He drove a used car. He never got a big promotion. He never chased the next big opportunity. When he quietly passed away in 2014, he left $8 million to charity. That same year, a Harvard-educated finance executive, a man with an 18,000-square-foot mansion, 11 bathrooms, 2 swimming pools, and 7 garages, filed for complete bankruptcy. Same world, same economy, completely opposite outcomes. Now here's the question I want you to sit with right now. If you're working hard, maybe earning more than you did a few years ago, but you still feel financially stuck at the end of every month, the problem is probably not your income. It's how you think about money. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to fix this. Let me paint a picture that I think most people watching this will recognize immediately. You start earning. Maybe it's your first real job. Maybe a promotion finally comes through. Maybe a business you've been building picks up some momentum. And for a moment, it feels like the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Then, life quietly adjusts around it. A slightly bigger flat because you deserve it. A better phone because the old one was slow. Nights out because finally you can actually afford them. A car payment creeps in. Subscriptions stack up. A holiday on credit because after working this hard, you absolutely deserved a break. A few years pass. Your income has gone up, maybe significantly. But at the end of every month, there's barely more left over than there was when you earned less, sometimes less. This is called the salary trap. And the uncomfortable truth is, almost everyone is on it. Not because they're careless, not because they're intelligent, but because nobody ever taught them the real rules of the financial game they're playing every single day. Think about it honestly. Most of us spent over a decade in school. We learned history, science, literature, calculus, all valuable, but not one class on compound interest, not one lesson on the difference between an asset and a liability, not 1 hour explaining why someone can earn twice your salary and still end up broke, while someone else earning half quietly builds real wealth. That gap between what schools teach and what actually determines your financial future is exactly what this video is about. Let's fix it. Here's one question that will completely change how you see everything you own. Does what you own put money into your pocket every month or take money out? That's it. That's the whole test. And once you start seeing the world through this lens, you cannot unsee it. Most people think they're building wealth. They buy a car, feels like an asset. They buy a home, told it's their biggest investment. They upgrade their lifestyle with every raise, feels like success. But here's what they don't tell you. A car loses roughly 15 to 25% of its value the day you drive it away. After 5 years, it may be worth less than half of what you paid. Every month, it pulls insurance, maintenance, and fuel from your pocket. That is a liability. Your home, if you're paying a mortgage, maintenance, insurance, and property tax every single month, and nothing is flowing back in, that is also a liability right now, regardless of what it might be worth one day. A liability isn't evil. It just means this costs you money. Know exactly what you're buying. Now here's the shift that separates two types of people who could be earning the exact same salary. The average person gets a raise and thinks, what can I upgrade now? The person quietly building wealth gets the same raise and asks, what asset can I acquire now? Think about what an asset actually looks like in everyday life. A small rental property generating $400 a month after all costs. A portfolio of index funds quietly paying dividends year after year. A side project, a digital product, a small business that generates income while you sleep. The goal is not to stop enjoying life. The goal is to build a system where money flows toward you, not just through you and out the other side every month. I want you to actually think about this right now. What do you currently own that makes you money, even passively, even a little, while you're sitting here? If the answer is nothing yet, this video is exactly for you. Keep watching. Let me tell you the story that completely changed how I see wealth. Ronald Reed. He fixed cars and swept floors his whole working life. Small house, sensible spending, no flashy purchases. But every month, quietly and without fanfare, he saved a small amount and put it into straightforward, solid investments. And then he left them alone for decades. When he passed away, his neighbors and coworkers were genuinely stunned. He left $8 million to his local library and hospital. That same year, a man named Richard Fuscone made headlines too. Harvard degree, former senior executive at one of the most prestigious financial firms in the world. A career filled with success, prestige, and expertise. His home alone was 18,000 square feet, and he went completely bankrupt. The estate sold at auction for a fraction of what it was worth. Same world, completely opposite ends of the education and income spectrum, and the janitor won. Why? Because getting wealthy and staying wealthy require completely different skills, and most high earners only develop one of them. Fuscone made the mistake that intelligent, high-earning people make more often than anyone admits. He borrowed heavily to fund a lifestyle that kept expanding. When markets shifted, which markets always do, there was no room for error. Everything built on that debt collapsed. Ronald Reed had one advantage that had nothing to do with education, salary, or intelligence. He just didn't panic. He kept his costs low. He stayed patient, and he let time do the work. The most powerful financial skill is not intelligence. It is not picking the perfect investment or timing the market perfectly. It is the ability to behave consistently and calmly, especially when everything around you is going wrong. That is a skill almost no one teaches, but it is learnable. Warren Buffett is the most studied investor alive. Analysts spend entire careers trying to decode his strategy, his frameworks, his stock picks, his philosophy, and almost all of them miss the real secret. His net worth is around $84 billion. Of that, $81 billion came after he turned 65. Not because he suddenly got smarter in retirement. Not because he discovered a new strategy late in life. He started investing seriously at age 10 and never stopped. His secret is not strategy. His secret is time. Here's a comparison that should genuinely stop you in your tracks. There is a mathematician named Jim Simons who built one of the greatest investment firms in history. His average annual return is around 66% per year, more than 3 times Buffett's 22%. By every performance metric, Simons is the superior investor. Simons is worth approximately $21 billion. Buffett is worth $84 billion. Why? Because Simons didn't start seriously compounding wealth until he was in his 50s. Buffett has been compounding for over 75 years. The math of compounding is so powerful and so invisible while it's happening that starting 2 decades earlier can matter more than tripling your annual returns. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Not next month when things settle down. Not next year when you earn more. Today. Even $50, even $20. The habit matters more than the amount at the beginning, because the habit is what stays. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because knowing all of this means nothing without knowing what to actually do next. Here are 3 shifts you can make this week. 3 practical shifts. No special income needed. No insider access required. No complicated strategy. Just a different way of operating, starting right now. Shift 1. Pay yourself first. Most people spend first and try to save whatever's left over at the end of the month. There is almost never anything left. The system works against you by design. Flip the order entirely. The moment income arrives, before rent, before groceries, before anything, move a percentage of it somewhere it can grow. Even 5% to start, even 10. Treat it like a non-negotiable bill you owe yourself. Future you is paying current you back. Where does it go? Low-cost index funds. Funds that track broad global markets rather than picking individual stocks have historically been one of the most accessible and consistent wealth-building tools available to ordinary people. Not a guarantee, but decades of data show this approach consistently outperforms most actively managed alternatives over long time horizons. Globally recognized platforms like Vanguard and Fidelity offer this. Many regional equivalents are available in most parts of the world. Research what is accessible to you, find the lowest cost option, and start, even small. The habit you build right now is worth more than the amount. Shift 2. Redefine what wealthy actually looks like. Next time you see someone driving a car that costs more than most people earn in a year, consider this. When you see that car, you do not admire the driver. You imagine yourself in it. The person who bought it expected to receive admiration, but every single person watching is too busy imagining themselves in the seat to think about the driver at all. Status spending is a trade where both sides lose. Real wealth is invisible. It's options you haven't needed to use yet. It's the freedom to say no to a job that drains you, a city you don't want to live in, a situation that no longer serves you, because you have a financial cushion underneath you that gives you choices. The most financially powerful thing you can build is not a wardrobe or a car or even a home. It's that gap between what you could spend and what you choose not to. That quiet gap is where real wealth lives. Shift 3. Do almost nothing during a market panic. Markets drop. They always have, and they always will. Major crashes have happened across every generation, and they have always, historically, recovered. Research tracking investors across an entire century found that those who stayed fully invested through every market downturn ended up with nearly twice as much as those who tried to time the market, pulling out during crashes and jumping back in later. The most expensive financial mistake most people make is not choosing the wrong investment. It's selling the right investment at the wrong time, out of fear, out of panic, out of following the noise. Your job is simple. Build the savings habit. Keep your costs low. Don't sell when it gets frightening. And then wait. Let compounding do what it does. The plan works best when you leave it alone. Disclaimer. If this video made you see money differently, hit subscribe. I put out videos exactly like this every single week. Real ideas, no jargon, no content that talks down to you. Before you go, drop a comment below right now. I read every single one. See you in the next one.